Hey, good evening, everybody. It is Tuesday, December 4th, 2018. This is Walking with God, and I'm your host, Kyle Walker. Thank you very much for joining us this very cold evening here in Kansas. First thing I wanted to start with tonight is more of a somber type thing. We did lose a president this week, and so on a Friday, November 30th, in case you haven't heard, I'm sure you all have, but President George H.W. Bush passed away. He was the 41st president of the United States, the father of the 43rd president, World War II combat pilot who flew 58 combat missions. And so I just wanted to start the show off tonight by saying, on behalf of myself and anyone who works with this show, uh, we thank George H.W. Bush for his service, both as military person and as president of the United States, because as we've said before on this show, it doesn't matter the person. It doesn't matter if you like the president, don't like the president. The office of the president is bigger than the person, and he served that office for this country. And so that we just want to extend our thanks and say thank you very much, and may he rest in peace. If you did not see the video today, I highly suggest that you go and find it, of 95-year-old Bob Dole, who's from Kansas, right here where we're at, who they visited President Bush's casket today and was helped out of his wheelchair just to give one final salute. And if you can watch that and keep your eyes dry, then you're doing better than I could, because that was a very touching tribute to our former president. So that is how we're going to start. And then continuing on kind of along the same lines, if you have been a longtime viewer of this show, you know that we started about a year and a half ago, a little more than that, with WYTV7, which is a station out of North Carolina. And that's kind of where we got our first chance, our break, if you will. And I just wanted to, I found out recently that the person who brought us on to WYTV7, who gave us that initial shot, the producer for this show for its full first season, who she didn't like to ever have her name said on air, so I'm not going to. But my former producer for WYTV7, I did learn that her father passed away. So from everyone here at Walking with God with Kyle Walker to the WYTV7 family in North Carolina and wherever they may be, our condolences for your loss, and our thoughts and prayers are with you. And so I hope you can find some peace and comfort during this holiday season, even after a difficult event. So we will be praying for you, and you are in our thoughts. So to all of those there, wanted to get that out there. So now we're going to go ahead and move on. If you did not hear last week, this is it. This is our season finale. This is going to be the last show that we do for 2018. Going to take a little time off. Going to enjoy the holidays. Going to let us turn over the calendar to 2019. We'll be back on January 8th. So make sure that you are not coming back here next week looking for the show, because you're not going to find it, because I am not turning on this computer next week to turn on the webcam and do a show. So this is it. However tonight works out, that's going to be it for 2018. So we're going to either go out with a bang or a complete thud. Last week's show, if you missed that, was geared towards married people. They asked for it. They got it. It was very well received. So I want to thank everyone for their feedback. That show has pulled in some pretty big numbers for this humble little effort. A lot of times our shows do really good numbers where I have guests on, Joe, who is, I know, watching right now, and the other guests who have joined us. Of course, they bring in extra viewers who want to see them, and so our numbers spike. But last week's show is right up there, and the only thing you had to listen to, the only person you had to look at was me. So sorry about that, but the numbers are really good. So thank you all for watching. If you watch that show and you have any feedback that you want to make sure I get, please send it to me, because I know that I struck a few chords last week, both good and bad. So please send feedback continuously if you'd like. Even though the show's not on the air, I will definitely be checking the messages and the boards and the blogs and this, that, and the other. So you can absolutely interact with us, even though the show is going to go on a little bit of a break. So just kind of diving into tonight, again, our last show. We may go long, we may go short. Who knows? We'll see what happens. But I had a situation. I know that's how I start a lot of my shows and my stories here. But I did have a situation that was kind of weird. It was just yesterday, I think. Have you ever had somebody tell you something, and you maybe have been told this 1,000 times, but for whatever reason, the 999th time you hear it, it just sits differently with you. It sits a little funny, shall we say. And I had that situation happen yesterday. And so what I was told, somebody said to me, and this is a direct quote, they said, "Wow, you are too kind." Okay, that is like the most harmless thing that somebody can tell you. It's a very harmless compliment. It's a kind word to show that you're appreciated. So there was no problem there. Why would that sit funny with me? Well, let me tell you why that sits weird. And it's not because "oh, you're too kind." It was the "wow." It was the "wow, you are too kind" that really has got stuck in my head. And I sat here thinking, how did we get into this world where kindness is the exception more than it is the rule? Why was it wow? Okay, why would someone be surprised by kindness? And on the flip side, where do we get the permission anymore to be so awful to one another? How in the world is someone being kind to you a surprise? This is what has absolutely tripped me up for now over 24 hours. We spoke 2 weeks ago about how we are all sinners. Every single one of us, we are sinners, and we fall short of the grace of God on the daily. That's what we do. Okay, and then last week we went over how married couples, they are sometimes struggling. They're struggling with the one person that they took an oath before God to love forever. Okay, so now we come to this holiday season, and kindness surprises us. Okay, we're all sinners, so that does not give you an excuse to be lousy to someone. Okay, you can't be lousy to them because they're a sinner, and you're a sinner too. All right, and with your spouse, you took an oath to love them. So again, kindness should kind of be the status quo. This should kind of be your default when you're talking to your spouse or interacting with them. So why the wow? Why is this kindness, especially in the Christmas season? Yes, I said Christmas season, not holiday season. But why is this such a strange thing? And we've all heard the expression, how it costs nothing to be a good person. Like, that's a meme that goes around Facebook all the time. So I'm wondering, okay, we need to do it. This is the time of season to do it. It costs nothing to do it. Yet the kindness is the wow. The kindness is the surprise. And this is apparently where kindness has become a burden. We are burdened by being kind to one another. People seem to think of kindness as a profit center. If you're not going to profit from your kindness, then why offer it, right? It's not going to do me any good, so why am I going to be nice to people? And believe me, this is not a new idea. It is just something that is becoming more and more apparent. Okay, but the idea of kindness being a profit center, we're going to come back around to that. It is definitely not a new idea. Matter of fact, have you ever actually read the Charles Dickens A Christmas Carol? Okay, so it's the story, as we all know, of Ebenezer Scrooge, and there's a part in there where his nephew Fred comes by to talk to him and wish him a Merry Christmas. Okay, and in Scrooge, he mentions this very thing, that for even all of Fred's love of Christmas, it has never once profited him. Fred's response was the most perfect answer that one can have, and why there needs to be kindness along with Christmas. And here, I printed it off. I want to read it actually word for word for you. And it's kind of old English because it's an old book, so stick with me here. Let me see if I can spit this out correctly, even though it is so dark in here. I know it looks bright on the screen, but that's because the light's shining in my face and I can't see anything. Okay, so this is the quote from Fred in Scrooge. It says, "There are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited. I dare say," returned the nephew, "Christmas among the rest. But I am sure I have always thought of Christmas time, when it has come around, apart from the veneration due to its sacred name and origin. If anything belonging to it can be apart from that as a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time, the only time I know of in the long calendar of the year, when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely and to think of people below them as if they really were fellow passengers to the grave and not another race of creatures bound on other journeys. And therefore, uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good and will do me good, and I say God bless it. And again, I love that quote from Fred, because the kindness of the Christmas season has never brought him or me or probably you any profit, but yet it's good for us. It is good for us to interact with our fellow man and our fellow woman during this season, to open up your shut up hearts, as he says, and show that kindness to people. That should not be a wow. It should not be a, oh, by the way, look, someone's actually being nice to me. It should be the norm. It should be the standard. And I love what he says here. Another race of creatures bound on other journeys. Okay, and it can absolutely feel like that during the Christmas time, during the hustle and the bustle of the Christmas season. And really, how often do you get to use hustle and bustle? But for the rest of the holiday season, I want to challenge you all to look at other people as your fellow man. Okay, not a race of creature bound on other journeys. Okay, but as your fellow man, as it is intended. If we even go to scripture here, Proverbs 16, this is 23 and 24, it says, from a wise mind comes wise speech. The words of the wise are, trying to read, the words of the wise are pervasive. Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body. So even in the Bible, it says that kindness is good. Kindness is good for you. It is good for your soul and good for your body. So why are we not sprinkling that around more, even during this holiday season? Again, when the wow is the exception, when the kindness is the exception. Again, it boggles my little mind. So my challenge here during this holiday season, of course, is we're 3 weeks away from Christmas Day as we sit here right now. So try and work on doing your good deeds. Try and work on doing the kind thing during the holiday season. We all get so caught up in the lights, in the Christmas lights, in the twinkle of the trees and the buying of the presents, and again the hustle and bustle as we've gone around to. We have taken Christmas and we have made it so complicated. Now, I'm just as guilty as anyone else, but it's so complicated, and really all you have to do is simplify it down to a baby in a manger. Okay, everything else that goes around Christmas we've done to ourselves. And so when we take this overly complicated holiday that we have made, and then we can't even find ways to bring kindness out of it, then really what in the world are we doing? Where you want to talk about missing the reason for the season? Well, the reason for the season is lying in a manger. And that is where we need to keep our focus, not on this overly complicated holiday we've created that leads to negativity and leads to hurt feelings and leads to drama and struggles, because that was never the intended purpose of it. So, you know, what can you do? This is like the easiest thing in the world. Like, I did not come up with any great list of things for you to do. This is not some deep, rich insight into the human psyche. Do something like opening a door for a person whose hands are full with bags. Someone who's been out shopping, who's clearly going to struggle at the door. Open the door for somebody. You know, pick up somebody's coffee at the coffee shop. That pay it forward kind of a deal. Donate a toy to Toys for Tots, so that some little kid has something to open on Christmas morning. You know, put money in a Salvation Army kettle. Adopt a needy child. You know, the angel trees, I believe as they're called, is the way to go. Again, all of this stuff is just the simplest things to do, but yet we're not doing it. We're getting so caught up in our own world that we're not doing these things. You know what? Call a relative and tell them Merry Christmas, or Happy Holidays if they prefer. I say Merry Christmas. That's just me. But that is my challenge of kindness for the season, is just to not get lost. Again, when somebody said to me, wow, you are too kind. Again, if they just said you were too kind, okay, yeah, that's great. Thank you very much. But wow, I am shocked that someone is showing me kindness. And this time of year, no one should be shocked that they are being shown kindness. That should be the rule, not the exception. And so with these things, or whatever you might have, that is my challenge, is that you go out there, you actually start doing them. Please start doing the kind thing for people, because clearly there's not enough of it. Like I've now seen this. I've seen that this is an issue, and I'm sure you have too. If you've looked in the right direction, you have seen that kindness is not what's happening. Okay, so there is my challenge. My last part, again, because of the whole nature of this show and where we've been, where we've come from, and how we started. Please remember, and I'm not focusing a whole show on this right now, but please remember that the holidays are the most difficult time of year for your single friends. Okay, for the single folks, for the single parents, for the separated, for the divorced. This is a season of torture, or at least it can be. It really can be. Like for me, and 8 years later, no, not so much anymore. For me, year one, oh man, this was a bad time, and I did bad things. I was not smart. Probably still am not smart, but I was really dumb back then. So please check on all your single peoples. Make sure that they're all right during a difficult time. It really is difficult. It's hard to really explain. Common sense will tell you that this is a rough time for them. Let me just reiterate what your common sense is already telling you. Yes, it is a very difficult time. This is a time where you feel alone, you feel isolated. People are so busy with their family functions that you, with maybe your first holiday without your family, whatever that did look like, you're feeling just completely alone, completely hopeless. And so if you have one of those people in your life, reach out to them, call them, invite them over for your holiday party. See if you can't find a spot for them at your Christmas table. It makes all the difference in the world. It really, really, really does. I can speak from experience. It's super important. So please keep your single folks in mind, because it is a rough time. And that is, and so as far as I'm going to go on the single topic today, if you really want to know what I think about it, I did a whole show on it this time last year, but I'm going to stop that part right there. And so, like I said, this episode is going to do it for our 2018 season. If you can believe that, I think we did about 16 episodes here in the second half. You know, we had a week where we did a whole episode and then Facebook didn't post it, so it was lost to cyberspace forever. But you can, of course, find everything here on Facebook. If you're watching now, you can also find it on the website, www.walkingwithgodradio.com. And really, this has been such a really fun and amazing ride. I was worried on how the second half of this year was going to go once we separated from our former host, our former station, and just kind of branched out into the solo. I can't thank Clover Hill Promotions enough for all the work they've done to build the website and to get the show out there and to get it onto Spotify under our own banner, and to all the other streaming platforms, the YouTube channel. And yeah, they've really done a lot of work. And I just want to take it here in this last show of 2018. I want to take that moment to really thank them for their work. I hope you will go to the website and you can see all the work that they've done, because trust me, I didn't do any of it, because I am really dumb when it comes to how to work computers and build websites and things like that. And really another thank you to all of you who have watched this year and who have stuck with us even through all the changes. Never in my wildest dreams did I think that we would have ever ended up here, and that the show would be doing what it's doing and helping the people that it's helping and being viewed as much as it's being viewed. Of course, I want it to grow and only get bigger, but it does not get bigger without you people, and you guys are the best, like the most wonderful and loyal fans an idiot like me could hope for. Cool story. I went to a meeting Sunday night, and a guy recognized me from the show, a gentleman I did not previously know. And he's like, "Oh, you're that guy from that podcast." And I can tell you right now that I will do terrible with any form of celebrity that comes my way, because I felt like, I don't know, felt like a fool. Like, yeah, I'm that guy. Hi. Yeah, I would not do well with that. So we'll just keep this all kind of low key and low scale. But it was kind of neat, not gonna lie, but also weirded me out completely. So I would not do well with any celebrity. And let's see here. I know we're winding down. I'm going to get you out here early, because you know what? Joe wants to meet for post-show nachos, and I'm hungry. So yeah, the show's going to end early tonight, and it's our last one. Like I said, we'll be back January 8th of 2019. In the meantime, we're going to keep things hopping on the Facebook page. I might jump on and do a quick video. It won't be a show, but I might just throw something out there. The website is where the blog is hosted. I will update the blog. I will try and do it weekly. All my guests who have been on have access. I'm hoping maybe they'll decide to post something on the blog. on the website. And then just remember your assignment that I gave you last week. Yep, everybody has homework here in the off season. If you would be so kind as to go back through 2018, find the show that spoke to you, find the show that you cared about, whether it was one that Joe was on with me or the one with Carol or with Amy or just me, whatever your situation was. If you liked it, if it spoke to you, or even if you just thought the hat was cool that night, I ask you to share it on Facebook. Hit the share button, type why you liked it, and share it to all your friends, because again, that's how we grow. And if you like the show and you like what we do, then we need to grow it, and that is how we grow. The people who have been sharing as of late, which has been quite a few of you, have been sharing the show on your personal Facebook pages. It's getting response. Like, people are watching, because there is nothing that speaks higher. You can have commercials. Yeah, I can get on here and beg and plead, but personal recommendations, like people are saying, hey, I enjoy this. You will enjoy this too. You should watch. That's where it's at. That is how things grow. So any episode of this show that you decide to share, that would be super cool. Thank you so very much. And again, just keep interacting with us while we're gone for about a month. We'll be back in 2018. I already have an appointment next week with Clover Hill Promotions. We're going to be talking about how to make the show bigger and badder and better than ever. And so I'm super excited about what might be coming up in 2019. I hope that you will stick with us through this break. And again, thank you all so much for everything you have done for me, for this show. And again, what started as just a dumb little idea has blossomed into this show as it is now, which a lot of people like, some people don't. If you don't like it, they leave the page. If they like it, they share it. So I can't thank you guys enough for all that you've done for me in 2018. The people who have donated financially, you guys are awesome. And everyone who has shared the show, you guys are awesome. The people who watch the show as I'm on here blabbing, you guys are awesome. And everyone in between. So with that, I'm going to say, have a great holiday season. Enjoy all your time with your friends and your family. Don't forget to be kind to others. Go to church. Remember why we have this season. It is not about the presents in the trees. It is about that baby in the manger. And volunteer your time where you can. Do what you can. Be happy. Be thankful. Be full of love and joy in this season. And then come back here in 2019, and we're just going to pick right up where we left off and do our thing. So let's close it out in prayer, and then we're out of here. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for tonight. Thank you so much for this whole experience that has been walking with God, this podcast in all its different shapes and forms. This is all thanks to you, and everything that we do, we try to glorify your name. Keep everyone safe during this holiday season. Let everyone remember why we're here and what we're doing, and bring us all back in 2019 healthy and ready to go. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. That's going to do it, folks. Hey, have a Merry Christmas. Have a Happy New Year. We will see you in 2019. Don't be strangers on the Facebook page. I love nothing more than talking to everyone and answering questions, even if it's not in video form. So take care. Be safe. We will. Oh, let's go with the dumb joke. Are you ready? All right. This is how we're going to end it. See you next year.